The building still stands. Glass windows reflect empty parking lots. Faded signs whisper a name that once ruled American shopping. In 1974, this company was the most powerful retailer on the planet. It sold more products than almost any corporation in history. It built the tallest skyscraper in the world as a symbol of its dominance. By 2018, it was bankrupt. This is not a story about a store that failed. This is a story about how an empire rose, expanded into finance, real estate, and insurance, and then collapsed under the weight of its own strategy. This is Sears, from retail king to ruins. The story of Sears begins far from shopping malls, suburban parking lots. It starts in 1886 in a small railroad town in Minnesota. Richard Warren Sears is a station agent, One day, a shipment of watches arrives that no one wants. Instead of returning them, Sears sells them directly to local farmers. The result is simple and powerful. People living far from cities want access to the same goods as urban customers. They want fair prices, reliable quality, and convenience. Sears partners with Alva Roebuck, a watch repairman. Together, they launch a mail-order business. Customers receive catalogs through the mail, browse hundreds of products, and order by letter. At the turn of the 20th century, the Sears catalog becomes a cultural force. It reaches millions of American households. For rural families, it becomes a window into the modern economy. The catalog offers clothing, furniture, farm equipment, tools, musical instruments, and even pre-cut houses. Entire homes are shipped by rail, piece by piece, to be assembled on site. This business model solves a massive problem. America is large. Transportation is limited. Local stores have small selections and high prices. Sears uses scale and logistics to break those limits. By centralizing purchasing and distribution, it lowers costs and expands choice. By the 1910s, Sears is one of the largest retailers in the United States without operating a single physical store. The 1920s bring a major change to American life. Cars become more affordable. Cities expand outward. Suburbs begin to form. Sears sees a new opportunity. Instead of only shipping products to customers, it can build stores where customers now live and drive. But Sears doesn't choose traditional downtown locations. It chooses the edges of cities, near highways, near growing neighborhoods. This decision shapes the future of retail. These stores become anchors for shopping centers. Other businesses cluster around them. Sears doesn't just follow them all. It helps invent it. By the time the Great Depression hits, Sears has something most competitors don't: a national brand, a trusted reputation, distribution network that spans the country. Even during economic hardship, customers return to Sears for essential goods. The company survives, adapts, and prepares for its next expansion. After World War II, America enters an economic boom. Factories shift from wartime production to consumer goods. Middle-class families grow in number. Suburbs spread across the landscape. Sears is perfectly positioned. It offers everything a modern household needs: refrigerators, washing machines, televisions, clothing, tools, furniture. But Sears doesn't just sell products, it builds brands. Kenmore becomes a trusted name in home appliances. Craftsman becomes a standard in tools. Diehard becomes a leader in car batteries. These are not random labels. They represent quality control and consistency. Customers associate them directly with Sears. This creates a powerful economic advantage. Higher profit margins, stronger loyalty, less dependence on outside suppliers. By the 1950s and 60s, Sears stores dominate American shopping centers. A mall without a Sears anchor struggles to survive. A mall with one becomes a regional destination. Sears becomes more than a retailer. It becomes part of daily life. Families open Sears credit accounts. They schedule appliance repairs through Sears technicians. They buy school clothes, holiday gifts, and home improvements from the same company. The scale is enormous. Millions of employees, thousands of stores, distribution centers across the country. In 1974, Sears becomes the largest retailer in the world. That same year, it completes construction of the Sears Tower in Chicago. At 110 stories, it becomes the tallest building on Earth. This is not just a corporate headquarters. It is a monument to dominance. Instead of doubling down on retail, Sears makes a bold strategic move. It expands into financial services. The logic is simple. If Sears already has millions of customers, why not offer them more than products? Sears acquires Dean Witter, a major brokerage firm, buys Coldwell Banker, a national real estate company. It already owns Allstate Insurance. The vision is a one-stop financial and consumer ecosystem. A customer can invest their savings, buy a home, insure their car, and furnish their living room all through Sears. This strategy is years ahead of its time. It resembles what modern tech companies attempt with digital ecosystems. For a while, the model works. Financial divisions generate strong profits. Retail stores continue to attract traffic. But a subtle shift begins inside the company. Attention moves away from the sales floor. Leadership becomes focused on financial performance, not customer experience. Sears becomes complex. Different divisions compete for resources. Decision-making slows. The company grows large, but less agile. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, a new type of competitor emerges. Walmart focuses on logistics and price. It builds massive distribution centers, negotiates aggressively with suppliers. It passes savings directly to customers. Cana takes a different approach. It blends low prices with modern design and branding. Specialty retailers appear. Home Depot dominates home improvement. Best Buy focuses on electronics. These companies don't try to be everything. They try to be the best at one thing. Sears, by contrast, tries to remain universal. Department store, appliance center, financial hub. Strategy begins to show weaknesses. Store layouts feel crowded and outdated. Inventory systems struggle to keep pace with faster competitors. Customer service becomes inconsistent. Walmart invests heavily in technology and supply chains. Sears invests heavily in financial divisions. The retail foundation begins to weaken. During the 1980s, Sears retail growth slows. Profit margins shrink, foot traffic declines in certain regions. Internally, reports point to rising costs and declining customer satisfaction. But the company's size makes change difficult. Thousands of stores mean thousands of decisions. Every update requires coordination across a massive organization. Competitors move faster. They test new formats. They adapt pricing models. They refine logistics. Sears, once the innovator, becomes the follower. By the early 1990s, the company begins selling off parts of its financial empire. Dean Witter is spun off. Coldwell Banker is sold. The super company vision fades. Sears returns its focus to retail, but now the market has changed. In the mid-1990s, a new force enters the economy. The internet. Online retail is small at first, slow connections, limited trust in digital payments. But companies like Amazon invest heavily in infrastructure. They build warehouses, they refine delivery systems, they collect customer data. Sears has the brand. Kit has the logistics experience. It has a customer base, but its digital strategy lags. Online platforms receive limited investment. Internal systems are slow to integrate with e-commerce. But once was Sears' greatest strength. Its massive physical footprint begins to turn into a liability. Rent, maintenance, staffing, utilities, online. Competitors operate with lower overhead and faster scaling. In 2002, Kmart files for bankruptcy. Once a major discount retailer, it collapses under competition from Walmart and Target. 3 years later, hedge fund manager Eddie Lampert orchestrates a merger between Kmart and Sears. The new company is called Sears Holdings. Its strategy is not built around retail innovation. It is built around assets. Sears owns valuable real estate, prime locations across the country, large physical properties in high traffic areas. Okay. The idea is that these assets can be leveraged, sold, or redeveloped to generate returns. K. Internally, the company adopts a structure similar to a financial portfolio. Different divisions operate as separate units, competing for capital. This approach aims to increase efficiency, but it also creates internal competition instead of collaboration. As financial strategy dominates leadership thinking, conditions inside stores worsen. Maintenance budgets are cut. Staffing levels drop. Training programs shrink. Customers begin to notice. Shelves go unstocked. Stores look outdated. Checkout lines grow longer. Brand loyalty weakens. Kenmore and Craftsman still carry reputation, but competitors catch up. Home Depot and Lowe's dominate tools and appliances. Online retailers offer wider selection and home delivery. Sears' unique position erodes. Between 2006 and 2016, Sears Holdings reports losses in nearly every year. Revenue declines steadily. Store closures accelerate. Thousands of locations shut down. Tens of thousands of employees lose jobs. Debt increases as the company borrows to fund operations. Real estate sales provide temporary relief, but reduce the company's physical presence. The strategy becomes survival, not growth. In October 2018, Sears files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company lists billions of dollars in debt. Pension obligations remain underfunded. Vendors demand payment in advance. A name that once defined American retail becomes a case study in decline. Some stores remain open under new ownership. Competitors absorb the market share. Walmart becomes the world's largest retailer. Amazon becomes a dominant force in global e-commerce. Sears' most valuable brands are sold. Craftsman is acquired by Stanley Black & Decker. Kenmore is licensed to other retailers. Real estate is repurposed. Some former Sears locations become warehouses, apartments, or entertainment centers. Investors who exited early limit losses. Long-term shareholders see value collapse. K. Employees face job uncertainty and pension concerns. Sears' story becomes a case study in business schools and boardrooms. It shows how scale can become a burden, how diversification can dilute focus, how financial strategy can overshadow customer experience. It also highlights the speed of market change, logistics, technology, data, customer expectations. Retail is no longer just about what you sell. It's about how fast, how cheap, and how convenient you can deliver it. Sears' decline affects more than shareholders. Malls lose anchor tenants. Local economies lose major employers. Supply chains shift. Communities that once relied on Sears for jobs and traffic face empty buildings and reduced commerce. Scumps becomes part of a larger trend. The decline of traditional department stores. The rise of digital-first retail. Sears is not alone, but its size makes its fall more visible. Sears begins as an innovator. It brings the store to the customer. It masters logistics before the term becomes popular. It grows into a national institution, a financial powerhouse. It's a symbol of American consumer culture. But over time, strategy shifts. Assets replace customers as the center of attention. Finance replaces retail as the primary focus. The market continues to evolve. Sears does not evolve fast enough. Sears does not collapse in a single day. It fades across decades, across decisions, across missed opportunities. From catalog king to empty storefront, its story shows how dominance can become distraction and how the market never pauses for a giant that stops moving. In the economy, power is not what you build, it's what you keep adapting before someone else takes its place.